Uncontrollable tears. Someone in your family just learned the truth about you. My beloved child, tonight the silence around you is louder than ever because a truth you carried quietly has finally reached a heart that never expected it. And the moment it landed, it shattered every assumption they had about who you really are. Listen closely now, because somewhere very near to you, a family member is fighting tears they cannot control. Not from disappointment, not from anger, but from the sudden weight of understanding how much you endured without asking for applause or protection. What they discovered was not a small detail or a passing fact. It was a hidden chapter of your life that explains your strength, your patience, and the strange calm you carry even when storms surround you. Right now, their mind is replaying every moment they misunderstood you. Every time they judged your silence, every second they failed to see the battles you were winning alone, and that realization is breaking them open from the inside. This is the part no one talks about. The moment when truth arrives unannounced and changes relationships forever. Because once someone truly sees you, they can never go back to who they thought you were before. Stay with me. Because this revelation is not ending in pain. It is opening a door that was locked for years. And behind it is healing, respect, and a shift in your destiny that cannot be stopped now. Something huge is waiting for you. Receive this blessing with a steady heart. Because what began as uncontrollable tears is transforming into honor, reconciliation, and a deeper bond that will surprise everyone watching your life unfold. Amen. Amin 111. Before you even realize it, the atmosphere around your name has shifted, because truth does not knock softly. It rearranges everything it touches, especially the hearts that once looked at you through misunderstanding. That family member is now replaying memories with new eyes, connecting dots that never made sense before. And with every connection, the tears return, heavier, slower, and filled with a respect they never knew they owed you. They finally see why you stayed quiet when defending yourself would have been easier. Why you walked alone when support was promised but never came, and why your strength never needed validation to exist. This realization is uncomfortable for them because it exposes their own blindness. Yet it is sacred because it opens the door to humility. And humility is where real change begins. Something irreversible is happening right now. A silent transformation that cannot be undone. Because once the truth is known, the soul refuses to pretend it never learned it. Hold steady and do not rush this moment, because this emotional awakening is aligning unseen forces in your favor, and very soon the energy around your family will respond differently to your presence. Something huge is waiting for you. Receive this peace and power without fear. For the tears you did not cause are becoming the bridge to understanding, restoration, and a future where you are finally seen as you truly are. Amen. Amin 111. My beloved child, there is a pause happening in the unseen. A deep breath taken by the universe itself. Because the truth about you did not arrive to wound. It arrived to correct what was misaligned for far too long. Now watch carefully, because that family member is no longer crying in confusion. They are crying in recognition. Realizing that your journey was never ordinary and that the weight you carried would have crushed someone less chosen. They are beginning to understand why. Your path looked different, Why doors closed for you while others walked through easily, and why your resilience grew stronger in isolation rather than comfort. This is the moment when regret whispers quietly, not to shame them, but to awaken them as they see how often they underestimated the depth of your heart and the courage behind your silence. Do not speak too quickly or explain too much, because your life itself is now doing the explaining and the truth is standing where words are no longer required. Something sacred is forming from this realization. A shift that will echo through conversations you are not present in, decisions you did not ask for, and respect that is finally being rebuilt. Something huge is waiting for you. Accept this season without resistance, because what was hidden is now honored. What was doubted is now defended, and what was overlooked is about to be protected in ways you never expected. Amen. Amin 111. My beloved child, there is a quiet turning point happening now. The kind that does not announce itself loudly, but changes everything beneath the surface, because awareness has finally replaced assumption. What you do not see yet is how that truth is settling inside them, slowly dismantling old judgments and replacing them with a deep, almost painful admiration for how you survived what was never meant to break you. They are beginning to guard your name in rooms you never enter, correcting stories that once painted you wrongly, and defending your silence with a fierceness that surprises even them. This shift is powerful because it is not driven by guilt alone, but by awakening, the kind that makes someone realize they were standing too close to greatness to recognize it. Do not underestimate this moment, because respect born from truth is stronger than love born from habit. And what is forming now will protect you in ways comfort never could. Very soon you will notice changes without explanations, softer tones, careful words, unexpected support, and an unspoken acknowledgement that you were always stronger than they understood. Something huge is waiting for you. Receive this alignment with calm confidence, because what once caused uncontrollable tears is now becoming the foundation of honor, balance, and a restored connection that will shape the next chapter of your life. Amen. Amin 111. My beloved child, the aftermath of truth is never loud. Yet, it is unstoppable, because once understanding enters a heart, it begins to rearrange priorities, loyalties, and the way love is expressed. Now, the one who cried is watching you differently, listening more carefully, noticing the strength in your pauses and the wisdom in your restraint, realizing that you were never distant. You were protecting something sacred within you. They see how your struggles shaped you into someone dependable, resilient, and quietly powerful. And this awareness is dissolving old patterns that once limited how they treated you. This is the hidden reward of endurance. The moment when your consistency speaks, louder than explanations, and your life becomes evidence that truth does not need to shout to be believed. Do not question why this is happening now, because timing is part of the revelation, and hearts only open when they are ready to receive what they once resisted. A shift this deep does not stop with one person. It ripples through the family, resetting dynamics, and restoring balance where misunderstanding once lived. Something huge is waiting for you. Step into this season without fear, because what was once unseen is now respected. What was once doubted is now trusted, and your presence is about to be valued in ways that feel almost unreal. Amen. Amin 111. My beloved child, there is a sacred calm following the storm of tears. A calm that signals completion because the truth about you has done its work and cannot be taken back. Now notice how the energy around you feels lighter, how resistance is fading, and how conversations begin to soften as if an invisible burden has finally been lifted from the family's heart. The one who once misunderstood you is no longer searching for proof because your endurance has become undeniable evidence of who you are and why your journey was different. This is where restoration quietly begins. Not through grand apologies, but through changed behavior, unspoken respect, and protection you never had to ask for. Do not rush to define this moment or control its outcome because what is aligning now is bigger than a single relationship. It is reshaping your place within the family structure. What follows this awakening is stability, favor, and a sense of belonging that no longer feels conditional but earned through truth and perseverance. Something huge is waiting for you. Receive this peace without doubt, for the tears that once fell in secret have cleared the way for harmony, recognition, and a future where your value is no longer questioned. Amen. Amin 111. My beloved child. This is the moment after understanding when silence becomes respectful and presence becomes powerful because nothing needs to be proven anymore. Now your name carries a different weight. Spoken with care, remembered with clarity, and protected with intention. As the truth about you continues to settle into every corner of the family's awareness, they no longer measure you by past misunderstandings, but by the depth of your character, the patience of your heart, and the strength it took to remain kind when kindness was not returned. This is how alignment reveals itself. Not through dramatic scenes, but through subtle shifts that feel almost miraculous when you look back at how things once were. Do not be surprised when opportunities for connection open naturally, when support appears without request, and when respect flows toward you without explanation. The chapter of being unseen is closing and a new chapter is opening where your voice, your boundaries, and your presence are finally honored. Something huge is waiting for you. Walk forward with steady faith because what began with uncontrollable tears has transformed into clarity, unity, and a destiny that is now unfolding in your favor. Amen. Amin 111. My beloved child, there is a quiet confidence rising within you now. Not because others finally see you, but because truth has settled so deeply that it can no longer be shaken. The family dynamic is adjusting in ways that feel subtle yet profound, as if invisible lines have been redrawn, and your place among them has been restored with dignity. What once felt heavy in gatherings now feels lighter. Conversations pause to include you, and decisions begin to acknowledge your insight, even when no one says it out loud. This is the power of being understood without having to explain yourself when your energy speaks first and your history no longer defines your worth. Do not underestimate how rare this moment is because many walk their entire lives unseen. Yet you are witnessing a reversal that few ever experience. Something permanent is taking shape now. A respect that does not fade with moods or circumstances but remains steady and protective. Something huge is waiting for you. Stand firmly in this truth because the tears that once revealed the past have unlocked a future of balance, strength, and recognition that will continue to grow. Amen. Amin 111. My beloved child, there is a sacred closing happening now. The kind that gently seals old wounds while opening space for something entirely new to breathe. You may not hear apologies spoken aloud, but you will feel them in actions, in changed priorities, and in the way your presence is no longer questioned or overlooked. The truth about you has matured inside their hearts, turning tears into wisdom and regret into responsibility. And this transformation is reshaping the emotional foundation of your family. What once drained you will no longer have power over you because understanding has replaced confusion and alignment has replaced resistance. This is how cycles end. Not with confrontation but with clarity. When everyone finally knows where you stand and why your journey mattered. From this point forward, your life moves, with less friction, fewer doubts, and more support than you ever expected. Something huge is waiting for you. Receive this completion with gratitude because what was once painful has become purposeful and your story is now being honored in the way it always deserved. Amen. Amin 111. My beloved child, this is the threshold moment where the past no longer pulls at you and the future no longer feels distant because everything has finally aligned. You are stepping into a season where you no longer shrink to keep peace, where your truth stands calmly without defense, and where your presence feels rightful, not tolerated. The family energy around you now carries acceptance, not obligation. And this shift is creating space for you to grow without carrying emotional weight that was never yours. This is the quiet reward for endurance. The unseen blessing that arrives after long patience when life finally says you were right to keep going. Do not look back to measure how far you have come. Because what lies ahead will make the journey make sense in ways words never could. A door has opened that will not close again, leading you into stability, clarity, and respect that is here to stay. Something huge is waiting for you. Walk forward with peace and authority because what began with uncontrollable tears has ended in alignment, honor, and a future that now recognizes your worth. Amen. Amin 111. My beloved child, there is a quiet authority settling over you now. The kind that does not demand attention, yet naturally commands respect wherever you stand. The truth that once caused tears has become a compass guiding how others approach you, speak to you, and include you in matters that were once decided without your voice. You will notice how your boundaries are no longer challenged, how your silence is no longer mistaken for weakness, and how your words land with unexpected weight. This is the season where you are no longer explaining your journey because those who needed to understand have already felt the impact of the truth themselves. Do not be surprised if guidance is now sought from you. If your perspective becomes valuable and if trust begins to flow in ways that feel new yet deeply right. What has shifted cannot be reversed because awareness once awakened does not return to sleep. Something huge is waiting for you. Stand firmly in this position without guilt because your rise is not at someone else's expense. It is the natural outcome of truth finally being acknowledged. Amen. Amin 111. My beloved child. This is the settling point where everything that was shaken finds its rightful place and peace no longer feels temporary but rooted. The family space around you now holds a different tone, one of calm respect, where your presence brings balance instead of tension, and your energy is welcomed rather than questioned. What once felt like emotional distance is transforming into understanding. And understanding is giving birth to a connection that feels honest, not forced. This is the reward of staying true when it would have been easier to harden your heart, because integrity always returns, with interest. Do not rush to label this season or seek confirmation, because its strength lies in its consistency, not in dramatic moments. Your journey has reached a place of quiet victory where you are seen, valued, and trusted without conditions. Something huge is waiting for you. Rest in this alignment with gratitude, for what began with uncontrollable tears has ended in harmony, restoration, and a future anchored in truth. Amen. Amin 111. My beloved child, there is a deeper calm unfolding now. The kind that settles into your spirit and stays because the struggle to be understood has finally ended. You will notice how your inner world feels lighter, how you no longer rehearse explanations in your mind, and how peace has replaced the need to defend your truth. The family bond around you is maturing. Not through perfection, but through honesty. And honesty is creating a foundation that will hold under pressure. This is where confidence becomes natural, where you trust your own worth without waiting for approval, because recognition has already arrived in the ways that matter. Do not underestimate the power of this stillness, because it is preparing you for greater responsibility, influence, and purpose ahead. What you endured has refined you, not hardened you. And that refinement is now being recognized. Something huge is waiting for you. Step forward with quiet assurance, because your story has shifted from survival to significance, and your presence now carries meaning wherever you go. Amen. Amin 111. My beloved child, this is the final unfolding. The moment when everything that was hidden, misunderstood, or delayed finally reveals its purpose. You are standing in a place where the past no longer defines you but strengthens you, and where family bonds are no longer strained by silence but guided by respect. The tears that once fell in secret have completed their work, washing away false narratives and leaving behind truth that is steady and unshakable. This is the completion of a cycle where pain has transformed into wisdom, isolation into recognition, and endurance into quiet authority. Do not fear what comes next, because what follows alignment is expansion, and you are ready for the responsibilities and blessings ahead. Your life is now moving forward without resistance, supported by understanding and anchored in truth. Something huge is waiting for you. Receive this closure with gratitude and faith. For what began with uncontrollable tears has ended in honor, unity, and a future shaped by truth. Amen. Amin 111. My beloved child, this is the moment of sealing, when everything that tried to break you instead becomes the evidence of why you were chosen to rise. You are no longer walking under misunderstanding, because truth now walks ahead of you, clearing paths you never had the strength to fight for alone. The family energy around you has stabilized. Not because everyone is perfect, but because reality has replaced illusion, and reality brings balance. What once felt like rejection has revealed itself as preparation, shaping your spirit to carry peace without bitterness and strength without pride. This is where destiny feels calm, not rushed, because alignment has already done the heavy work behind the scenes. You are entering a phase where your presence heals rather than explains, influences rather than reacts, and stands firm without resistance. Something huge is waiting for you. Remain grounded in this truth, for your journey has completed its circle, and what lies ahead is not survival but purpose, clarity, and lasting peace. Amen. Amin 111. My beloved child, this is the quiet after destiny speaks, the stillness, where nothing needs to prove itself anymore because truth has already taken its rightful place. You may feel a deep calm settling into your heart. A calm that does not depend on validation because your worth is now established both within you and around you. The family space you once navigated carefully is becoming safer, softer, and more respectful, as if invisible walls have finally fallen away. This is where trust rebuilds naturally, not through promises, but through consistency, changed actions, and unspoken understanding. Do not rush ahead or question this peace because it is earned, and earned peace lasts longer than sudden happiness. Everything that once drained you is losing its grip, and what remains is strength, clarity, and emotional freedom. Something huge is waiting for you. Stand still in gratitude for this moment because your journey has entered a phase where you are no longer reacting to life but calmly directing it forward. Amen. Amin 111. My beloved child, this is the sacred continuation where growth no longer feels forced but flows naturally from the truth that has already been revealed. You will notice how your confidence is quieter now, steadier, rooted in self-knowing rather than survival. And this shift is reshaping how others respond to you. The family bond around you is no longer built on expectations, but on acceptance, allowing relationships to breathe without pressure or fear. This is where emotional maturity shows itself. When you no longer seek validation, yet it arrives freely, almost effortlessly, do not underestimate how powerful this stage is because it prepares you for influence without ego and leadership without resistance. Your past has refined your discernment, and that discernment is now guiding you toward wiser choices and deeper peace. Something huge is waiting for you. Remain present and grounded because what unfolds from here is stability, purpose, and a life no longer interrupted by old misunderstandings. Amen. Amin 111. My beloved child, this is the moment when your story stops echoing pain and begins radiating meaning because everything you endured has finally found its place. You may sense a deeper respect not only from others but from yourself, as if you are finally standing on solid ground after a long inner journey. The family connection around you is settling into something healthier where honesty replaces tension and understanding replaces silence. This is where your presence becomes grounding. Where people feel calmer around you without knowing why. Because healed strength carries peace, do not rush this season because it is preparing you for greater purpose. One that requires clarity, patience, and a centered heart. What was once a test has become wisdom. And wisdom is now shaping your future decisions. Something huge is waiting for you. Hold this alignment with gratitude because your life has shifted from endurance to intention and from survival to meaningful impact. Amen. Amin 111. My beloved child. This is the deep settling of destiny when nothing feels rushed and nothing feels missing because alignment has taken root. You will notice how your reactions are calmer, your thoughts clearer, and your heart steadier, as if you are finally living from truth rather than defense. The family space around you now reflects balance, where respect flows naturally, and emotional weight no longer follows you into every room. This is the season where you trust yourself fully, where past doubts lose their voice, and where peace becomes your default state. Do not be surprised if your life begins attracting stability, clarity, and opportunities that match who you have become. Everything you went through has prepared you for this grounded strength. And this strength is now opening new paths. Something huge is waiting for you. Stand firm in this completion because your journey has matured into wisdom and your future is now unfolding from a place of truth and calm authority. Amen. Amin 111. Subscribe our channel for daily prayer prophetic.